right, let's talk about one of the most extreme diets out there, the carnivore diet. Now, this has gained a lot of popularity because of people like Jordan Peterson. If I remember this correctly, his daughter used it to kind of self-heal her autoimmune issues. And then from there, we had a whole bunch of people going carnivore. And even now we have a lot of carnivore influencers who don't seem to own plates because they all seem to eat off chopping boards. Don't know what that's about, but okay. So this diet is literally all meat, zero carbs. And some of the claims are, again, as I mentioned, the autoimmune issues, being able to kind of cure it a bit, endless energy, effortless weight loss. I think Jordan Peterson said that simple things like snoring nipped it in the bud. However, a lot of people have given this diet a lot of hate. So is carnivore the ultimate primal lifestyle hack, or is it just Instagram hype wrapped in steak? Let's break it down. Listen up, take notes. So let's talk about what the carnivore diet actually is. The carnivore diet is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You only eat animal products. We're talking beef, chicken, pork, fish, eggs, and sometimes dairy. No fruits, no veggies, no grains, no nuts, no beans. Basically, if it didn't moo, cluck, or swim, it's off the menu. Now, technically, this is a form of an elimination diet, cutting out all plant foods and only eating meat and animal fat. Now, the theory is simple. By removing carbs and plant foods, you stay in a low insulin fat-burning state, similar to keto, which I've made a video about. You avoid plant anti-nutrients like lectins and oxalates, I think I'm saying that right, and potentially reduce inflammation, since people are sensitive to certain plant compounds. Also, because meat is super filling, many people naturally eat less calories, which puts them in a calorie deficit, which leads to fat loss. So what are the benefits of doing a diet like carnivore? One of the potential benefits is weight loss. A lot like keto, carnivore tends to result in rapid fat loss, partly because you cut carbs and eat very satiating foods, high in protein, which keeps you fuller for longer. Again, just like keto, there's blood sugar control. So with zero carbs, blood sugar and insulin levels stay pretty flat. Some small reports suggest benefits for people with type 2 diabetes, similar to low carb and ketogenic diets. Now, your autoimmune and gut issues, this is one of the big claims. Some people say cutting plants reduces symptoms like joint pain, bloating, or skin conditions. Now, there's not much hard data yet about that, but elimination diets in general can help uncover food intolerances. Now, carnivore just takes that idea to the extreme. Another benefit to carnivore is its simplicity. There's no tracking, no meal prep stress, just steak. Now, simplicity can be powerful for people who hate tracking calories, counting macros, all of that shit. However, there are some potential downsides. Nutrient deficiencies, for starters. By cutting out all plants, you risk missing out on things such as vitamin C, fiber, potassium, magnesium, and phytonutrients. Sure, some people will argue you can get the vitamin C from raw liver or organ meat, but let's be real, most of the people doing carnivore, they're not eating raw liver daily. Another potential downside is fiber-free life. Zero fiber means no prebiotics for your gut bacteria. Long term, this could impact your gut health and digestion. This could lead to constipation or the opposite, diarrhea, which is very common when starting carnivore. I'll tell you my own personal experiences at the end of this video. There's not a lot of information about the long-term effects of a diet like carnivore. High intake of saturated fat and cholesterol may rise LDL cholesterol in some people. The long-term cardiovascular effects of people only eating meat hasn't actually been studied properly. And then the big one for me is sustainability. Honestly, people can't just stick to carnivore. It's socially awkward, it's expensive, and let's face it, it's gonna get boring. Now, here are some myths that just need to go away. Plants are toxic, meat is the only safe food. This comes from someone who eats quite a bit of animal products. Plants can contain compounds that can be irritating for some people, but they also provide antioxidants and fiber that are proven to support health. Balance matters. Humans are designed only to eat meat. Now, I'm going to try my best to say this word. Anthropological, I think that's how I'm saying it, evidence shows humans may have been omnivores for hundreds of thousands of years. We can survive on meat, but that doesn't mean it's optimal long term. Also, a lot of shit that we do now, you know, we always hear people talk about, back in the caveman times and all that, but we have evolved so much since that time. It's natural that a lot of our systems and our body would have evolved as well. That's just me throwing in a little bit of what I think is common sense. You don't need fiber at all. Lord have mercy. The research overwhelmingly shows fiber reduces the risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and colorectal cancer. I think I said that correctly. Now, look, there are potential benefits, there are side effects, okay? Now, carnivore might be worth a short-term trial if you have an autoimmune issue or gut problem, and you want to test and see if an elimination diet might work for you. If you struggle with carb cravings and want to reset. As I mentioned in the keto video, if I want to refrain from eating sweet stuff, I could do something such as a carnivore diet. In fact, a carnivore diet is incredibly easy for me because I absolutely love steak, and I can eat just steak, I can eat just chicken. I'm not a massive fish fan, but what I can say is when I did this diet, I couldn't trust a fart. I remember not being well and having some really bad coughs. Not saying that was because of the carnivore, but at some points when I would cough quite hard, I would shit myself. I mean, I don't take any great pleasure in telling you that I have actually shat myself quite a few times on carnivore. The amount of times I've been sitting on the sofa and then literally I go like, I might cough and then be like, shit. And then I'm up and I'm running to the toilet because I've shat myself. That's just my personal experience with it. I mucked about with how much fat I was having. I mucked about on having leaner cuts, all this kind of stuff. And it was just the same thing. So I got to the point where I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Also, because of how my days go, I sometimes would not eat a lot of food because, as mentioned before, it can curb your appetite. So at some points, because I'm not naturally hungry, I can only eat one meal, which means that I'm essentially fasting for the rest of the day. Now, if I'm on the road or I'm getting really busy and then I forget to drink my water like I would have horrendous cramps. Now, that was poor planning on my behalf, yes, but it just didn't suit my lifestyle. However, the people who shouldn't really think about this is if you have high cholesterol or heart disease. Now, if you do want to give carnivore a little bit of a go, prioritize fatty cuts of meat, not just your lean chicken breast. Consider organ meats. They provide you with the vitamins that you'll miss from the plants. Hydrate and get the electrolytes in, sodium, potassium, magnesium. And it might be a good idea to get maybe some kind of regular blood work done to make sure you're not fucking up your health. And maybe, just maybe, don't plan on doing this for the rest of your life. At the end of the day, I don't really find it to be a sustainable diet for anyone. I think that it will be something that you can do for a period of time, and then naturally, you're going to revert back to a bit normal or balanced diet. If you need any help working out what's the best diet for you, or you just want a bit more information on carnivore, drop me a message and let's work together.